He's had 5 games with Andy Reid on home openers, 5-0, undefeated with Andy Reid. His stats, passer rating, 136.9. And we talked about Will Harris's pass. Oh, no, not Will Harris. Well,
No,
we
yeah,
did.
Will Harris.
No, but Ermanni Awarrie's passer rating you brought up. And that was like what?
It was 130.3.
So Mahomes is basically Ermanni Awarieing in these games, these 5 games, dude. 136.9 passer rating, 1,542 passing yards, 18 touchdowns in 5 games. That's ridiculous.
Extraordinary.
And now he's torched a lot of teams, but I'll tell you this, though. At least the teams he's torched, and we'll go through in recent history. Last year, 2022, he tore up the Cardinals, okay? In 2021, he beat the Cleveland Browns. In 2020, the Houston Texans, which Texans are a pretty good team at the time because that was Deshaun Watson. But regardless, Jacksonville in 2019, 2018 was the LA Chargers. So it's not like they're no world beaters, but still, they're undefeated, and he's played extremely well. Hasn't thrown a single interception. 18 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. He is remarkable. Now, the question I have for everybody at home, and feel free to chime into the chat, and we'll go around the room, is what's the path to beat this man? Especially, and you could factor in not having Kelsey, but I think undoubtedly, the number one thing that the Lions have to do, is pressure. Sure. Big time pressure. Like Aiden Hutchinson needs to show why he's the number 2 overall pick, why we think he can be, or you think, and I would agree with you, Sam Flannel, he could be a top 10 edge rusher this year, top 15 edge rusher, wherever you have him ranked. He has to show that. Now, Mahomes is mobile though. The guy can get around, he can evade sacks. But this is where a guy like James Houston comes into play, right? Aleem McNeil creating pressure from the interior, because one of the strengths of the Kansas City Chiefs, and they worked on it this offseason, that offensive line. We could talk all day about the Lions' offensive line. Creed Humphrey, All-Pro. They just signed Juwan Johnson. Or not Juwan Johnson.
Taylor.
Juwan Taylor. Thank you. He's a tight end for the Saints, Juwan Johnson. But
Juwan
regardless,
Johnson's nice, though.
he's a dog. But Juwan Taylor, great in pass pro. That offensive line looks great, Sam, but to you, what's the path? How do you take down the Chiefs?
All right, when it comes to the Lions' defense against the Chiefs' offense, the number one path is obviously get pressure on Patrick Mahomes, because if you don't, Mahomes will absolutely just carve them apart, no matter who's playing wide receiver.
Real quick, not just pressure, but if you're getting pressure from the interior, you know he's going to evade. They have to contain.
100%
Because they struggled doing that last year, but continue. Sorry.
And that is, of course, where Aiden Hutchinson and James Houston have to step in, and guys like even Charles Harris or Romeo Okwara have to step in and be disciplined and have gap integrity and not just like over pursue. But you also look at, I would say, the Detroit Lions secondary has to win the matchup against the Kansas City wide receivers or pass catchers as a whole, because one guy that I'm concerned about if I'm the Detroit Lions, especially with Travis Kelce possibly or probably being out, or even if he's not out, being hampered, is a guy like Jerick McKinnon catching passes out of the backfield.